Welcome. So this is part 2 of my comics from scratch, and so I'm doing the second of my 3 main characters. When I get into the secondary characters, I might do multiple per episode, and for those with a keen eye, you've probably noticed that I've never used this program before. This isn't Sketchbook or Art Rage. This is Clip Studio, Clip Studio Paint, and a friend recommended it to me, and I like it. I still have to get used to it a little bit. I've had a little bit of a different feel, but I do like how it's set up and everything. But I do need more general practice with it, and to actually do some of the tutorials because there's several tools that I don't even know how to begin, and then a few of them that I've kind of been able to figure out by myself. Um, so yeah, I decided to start with the model. This time I do a little bit less conjecturing with this character because I have a little bit of a clear mental image with her. So her name's the Reporter. No one has like a real name. Um, it's like kind of a gimmick, I guess, to put forth both the allegorical sense of them and to provide a difference from like our standard, because it's a different point in the future. So I like mixing different clothing styles, because the main characters don't. Well, the spoiler alert: the third person has cyborg parts, but other than that, I don't go into a traditional cyberpunk kind of aesthetic. But I didn't want to go completely into the pure Western aesthetic, and so I just kind of add in what I like. And so since she's a reporter, I gave her kind of a newsy cap, just because I like doing that. Um, I like the puffy sleeves, and I don't know what it is. It was more of a spur of the moment kind of thing, but I just wanted. I gave her like 70s disco pants. But I don't know. I just kind of like it. I mean, a lot of the characters that I've drawn for other projects are just for fun. I usually base the outfits around like armor, or mobility, but in this world, since there's such a risk of like sun and other exposure, then almost all the skin is just covered. And so she has a little handkerchief scarf that she usually hangs around her neck, but um, I drew kind of a little basic, but she can both use it to cover her forehead or her face as necessary. It's kind of the point of having it there. And I'm starting to draw her tools, so she doesn't have any general weapons. I mean, the Traveler's the only one who does, with his knife and his gun. Um, and the Reporter and the Lawyer is the third character, but they don't carry weapons. So she carries her notepad and pen, obviously, and then a recording device, which comes into play later because very early in the story it breaks, and so she has to find a new one that actually contains an AI, and so that's one of the main early parts of her story. But yeah, I like the vest kind of look, even though it doesn't make much sense. So it's almost it almost looks like a crop top in a way, but then it's over a button up. Yeah, and I was using the pencil marker, so then I was messing around, and I was using the pen tool, and then I decided that the brush tool would serve my purposes better, and kind of did some basic shapes and lines. These are meant to be very quick. Um, I've kind of shirked these videos a little bit because I've been pretty busy lately. There's been some birthday stuff with some friends and family members and some general stuff and errands, and so I'm trying to get back in the swing of things. And so for these early videos, it's really just to spit them out, and I'll have everything kind of in this early stage. So I'll have the basic character designs, and then I'll go into the basic settings, and then I'll have basic storyboards and build it up that way, rather than having complete pieces that I then piece together, which is what I've done in the past and I've historically had less success with. I don't know, I have a weird mixture of just pure artist block, where I'll just have no motivation for however long, and then I'll have idea overload, which is where the moment that I'm working on something, just suddenly, in either an old idea, I piece together something else, or I come up with a brand new idea that I just have to do at that moment. And then I get stuck between loyalty to what I'm working on or going on something new, and usually that ends in either beginning the something new for a tiny bit and then ditching all of it, or then it just leads into a different set of artist block and whatnot. But then I'll get, if I do stick with one project, I do get bogged down a lot by revisions, which revisions are good. Like, I think that every time I've done it, it has been beneficial, but then I'll get stuck in the mode of, oh, well, if I'm just going to revise this, then I should just keep on trying to do that rather than to try to do the project. When my advice is always to work on pieces of the project as much as you can. Like, even if suddenly you decide that you want to change the entire art style, or you want to change a large plot piece, then work on what you can. Maybe you have one plot piece that's extremely down-packed, and maybe you can just start scripting that. And so that's a philosophy I've tried to implement, and that I hopefully will implement in this series, is kind of the part of the reason for its existence. To knock me out of my comfort zone, and to really get something done from start to finish. And by creating a kind of pseudo audience for myself, it may add some pressure. So yeah, I gave her a little bit of a messy bun with some strands of hair. I'll work more on the facial details and clothes and everything when I do better revisions later. So thank you for watching with me. These videos are going to be either pretty short or combine multiple things. I haven't decided yet, at least in the form that they are now. And thank you to my patron, Dr. Von Kitty, who has continued to support me as an Abyss Acolyte. And thank you guys for joining me on this exciting creation process. Until next time.